Hi everyone, my name is Rocio Mejia and I am 20 years old. I have two older sisters and we get along well, even though we annoy each other all the times, but that's just what siblings do. My hobbies include reading books and watching movies, especially within the psychological thriller and horror genres because they're my absolute favorite. The reason I decided to attend Sam Houston was because I noticed that all of my favorite teachers had gone there. So I thought that if they attended this school and they came out as the wonderful educators that they are now, then maybe I could too. I've always known since I was in middle school that I wanted to go into education. I looked into other fields that I was interested in, like engineering and nursing, and I did give it a go, but it never felt right. And in education, there was many opportunities that I knew that I could fit into. For example, like being a school counselor, a teacher aide, a substitute, an administrator, a principal. So it was just a matter of finding what role I could fit into. And it wasn't until I was in high school that I settled upon becoming a teacher. And the reason for this was because I befriended uh, some classmates who were newcomers and were in ESL. And this means that they had come from Latin America. Well, in this case, they came from Latin America, but they can just come from anywhere. And they didn't know English. However, they were very well educated, but it's just extremely difficult to understand new concepts and be able to pass quizzes and tests and so many writing assignments when you don't even know the language. So I, of course, helped them out in different ways that I could by tutoring them after school and during lunch. And it was around these events that we were together um, that they told me how much they felt like they were being ignored by their teachers. They were like, "Oh yes, like we were looking forward to having a better education in the states. However, a lot of the teachers, it's like we're not even there." And hearing them say that, it made me very angry and upset because I was very well, I very much knew the teachers that they were talking about, and I had a great relationship with them because I got good grades and I was always, just a good student. So for them to tell me that these same teachers were not supporting them and not listening to them, it made me lose a little bit of hope um in the education system, but it also made me realize that this was going to be something that I was going to be facing with if I did decide to become a teacher. And actually, that was when I did decide that I wanted to become a teacher because I thought that, okay, so many things are going on and there are so many changes that need to be made. And I can't just sit here knowing that and not do anything about it when I can help be a part of the solution. And that's how I decided to become a bilingual teacher. And from having that realization, I helped my friends by just tutoring them more whenever it came time for the STAR tests. And I also reached out to different AP counselors so that they could get even more additional help outside of their ESL classes. And it was a success. I'm very happy that I was able to help them, and that moment completely changed the trajectory of my life because it helped me decide what it was that I wanted to do with my life. And with this going on, I also took notice of the disparities between English learners as opposed to students who are in general education. And I just knew that I had to do something because being an ESL student myself when I was much younger, I had a completely different and better experience. And I just want to be able to do that now for future learners by being a bilingual teacher, especially with students who come from different backgrounds. They have different cultures, a completely different second first language, and it's very easy for them to want to erase part of themselves in order to fit into society. And I want them to see that different versions of themselves can coexist. And yeah, that's what I hope to accomplish by becoming a teacher. Okay, and now for the part of the here it is. Okay, it's important for teachers to understand what learning science is, along with the model of the mind. And this is important because by understanding these different things, they have insight into the cognitive process of students and how their memory is affected. Because by knowing how all of these pieces, um, by knowing how they kind of intertwine with each other, teachers are able to plan appropriate um lessons, and they know what they're able to come up with strategies that'll help reinforce concepts into the long-term memory instead of it not being processed at all by getting lost in the working memory. And it's just very um it's very important because teachers who don't know how to do this, they fail to realize when their students miss out on vital learning outcomes. And so, by understanding how the environment plays into their teaching role, and by knowing how to hit the target of retrieval by asking relevant questions instead of waiting until the end of the school year, teachers help students gain a deeper understanding of the content they're being presented with. And that is why it's important for them to understand these concepts.